behind me, because this bill that we're introducing today is a bill I think is very, very important to our state. We have Chief Judge Charles Laverty of the Maine District Court. We have Attorney General Janet Mills. Public Safety Commissioner John Morris. Colonel Williams of the Maine State Police. Cumberland County District Attorney Stephanie Anderson. Roy McKinney, Maine Drug Enforcement Agency Director. Chief Phil Crowell, Auburn Chief and President of Maine Chiefs of Police Association. Sheriff Randy Liberty, President of Maine Sheriff's Association, and a true Maine hero, by the way. Chief Joe Massey of the Waterville Police. Maine has experienced a dramatic rise in drug use. First with prescription drugs a few years ago, which we've made some improvements and some headway in, but now a renewed problem with heroin. We must confront this troubling epidemic. While some are spending their time criticizing and trying to expand welfare, we are truly losing the war on drugs on the streets. This is causing an increased threat to public safety and most certainly to the health of Mainers. Sadly, many victims are subjected to the use of drugs before they're even born. Last year, 927 babies were born drug addicted here in the state of Maine. That is 7.5% of all the babies born in Maine. And that is just unacceptable. Each baby addicted to drug creates a lifelong challenge to our healthcare system, our schools, our state social services, but most importantly, to the families. The average cost of a drug-addicted birth in 2009 was $53,000. Welfare programs cover nearly 80% of these births. A normal birth is less than $6,000. I'm deeply concerned about the suffering, the long-term consequences that these newborns have to face. It is unacceptable to me that a baby should be born affected with drugs. You know, I often hear that Republicans are not compassionate, but this is an instance where we have compassion, and we want to do the right thing, and we have to do the right thing. And Republicans will take the action when other people will just speak about it, and I say that with great respect for all those that are fighting for this bill. I understand it's an election year and rhetoric is going to be, it's what I call the hate season. But we need to make sure that we put our priorities in the right place. And our kids and those suffering from the addiction to drugs, we need to put our efforts in treatment. But in addition to that, we have to put our efforts into getting the drugs off the streets. There were 163 drug-induced deaths in Maine in 2012. We lose more people to drugs than we do car accidents. 4 times as many people died from heroin overdose in 2012 than 2011. 20% of the homicides in our state involve drugs in one way or another. We must address the drug addiction issue as well as the drug trafficking issue. While the Department of DHHS has several programs dealing with the addiction aspect, and certainly the medical profession deals with the addiction process, we want to deal with the trafficking here today. The bill that we're proposing will do three things. First, it will add 14 MDEA agents throughout the state. Local law enforcement simply does not have the resources to deal with this epidemic. We'll add 4 new prosecutors and 4 new judges to an enhanced drug court in Presque Isle, Bangor, Lewiston, and Portland. You know, it's one thing to get traffickers off the streets, but more importantly, meth labs are being sprouting up everywhere, and those are dangerous. Very, very dangerous to law enforcement, very dangerous to people that are around them, and so we need to make a very strong effort and a statement to say it's over. Don't come to Maine with your drugs. We don't want them. We must hunt down the dealers and get them off the streets. We need to protect our citizen, we need to protect our unborn, we need to protect our law enforcement. Because every day they go out there and face crime, but we can't just sit by and not do anything about the level of drugs that are in this state. Auburn Police Chief Phil Crowell is the president of Maine Chiefs Police Association. He is here today to show the chiefs fully support our administration's war on drugs. I'm pleased to see Randy Liberty, who heads up the Sheriff's Association, here today, and of course Chief Morris and Colonel Williams are here representing the state. So we are all working together. You know, one time in this state where the judicial branch, the executive branch, and the legislative branch came together and attacked domestic violence. We're all on the same page at dealing and eradicating domestic violence in the state. Now is the time to get together one more time and to get onto the drug trafficking trade in the state of Maine and eradicate that. She's not here today. She's unable to attend, but Chief Justice Lee Softly is behind us 100%. We've had many discussions about it. She is all on board with what we're trying to accomplish. Now, I'm not here to say that eradicating the drug trafficking trade is a silver bullet. We still have the addiction issues. In fact, earlier this morning I met with a group from the medical profession about prescription drugs and the problem it's having in our streets. While we're making headway, there's still only roughly 40% of the physicians and those who prescribe drugs in this state that are registered in our prescription management program. I urge them all to register. We register, it's to help everyone, to help you, to help those that are seeking the drugs that may be illicit and using them in an illicit way, I should say, and to try to get them help is what we're trying to accomplish here. You know, I have met 2 young ladies that have come in. One had lost her children. Another young lady was pregnant. They were addicted to drugs. They have been cleaned up now for one lady for 3 years, one lady for 5 years. They've remarried, they're both married, they both have families, they're living a great, successful, they're the American dreams come through for them. And that's what the outcome is that we're looking for. We're looking to clean it up so that people can move on with their lives and be contributors to society. Treatment recovery is very, very important, and DHHS will be working on that front. There are programs throughout our communities, and one in particular that we just recently gave money to from our contingency fund because they're just are constantly trying to fundraise and not able to work with the addiction people that are addicted on drugs, is the Open Door Recovery Program in Ellsworth. It's a great program. So this bill before lawmakers is a tool. It's a tool to combat the drugs on the streets. It's a tool to combat the danger of some of the drugs that are presented to us on the streets. I mean, recently the chief was telling me that we have mobile meth labs moving from place to place, so they're chasing them down on wheels now. We're finding them in motels, we're finding them in apartments. So it's a problem that is pervasive in the state. It's a problem that we here, the people behind me, the organizations they represent, are all on board to eliminate. So I tell the legislators that now it's time to take action. Actions speak louder than words, and now we need action. Thank you.